Have you ever waited and still felt your dreams slipping through your fingers? You have whispered prayers, recited affirmations, and yet the life you long for seems always just out of reach. The bills mount, the opportunities linger elsewhere, and a quiet doubt begins to take root. Will it ever come? What if I told you that your desire is not far away, that it is not somewhere in the distant future, but already present, waiting patiently for you to claim it? There is a hidden law, a divine rhythm, that transforms someday into today, and when you align with it, you no longer chase. Instead, life flows to you with certainty, grace, and ease. Repeat these words with me, and let them settle into your soul. I am ready to receive what is already mine. I am ready to receive what is already mine. My life is open to miracles, and they arrive today. My life is open to miracles, and they arrive today. The truth I will reveal today has been kept quietly, sacredly for decades, a law so simple yet so powerful, it can end your financial struggle and bring the prosperity you have been waiting for. Comment below with the phrase, "I receive abundance now," to anchor your intention, and subscribe so you do not miss the teaching that will unlock this divine law for your life. Your mouth has carried words you do not even hear, words of fear, words of lack, words that shape your days without your knowing. How many times have you whispered to yourself, "I can't afford it, I don't have enough, money always slips away from me," and each time, your life obeyed your tongue? Tell me, have you noticed the weight of your own language? Have you noticed that your word is not simply sound, it is seed? If you are weary of struggle, perhaps it is not because heaven has forgotten you, but because your own speech has chained you to scarcity. The question is simple. If your word creates, what have you been creating? What would change if you dared to speak wealth into form? There is a divine law older than time itself, the law of the word. All of life responds to decree. Your word is your wand. To speak is to command. Yet so many use this wand against themselves. They curse their own supply without realizing it. They talk of bills, of debt, of not enough. And so their world reflects exactly that. You cannot plant weeds and expect roses. Why does this happen? Because fear loves to borrow the tongue. Doubt loves to speak first. And what is spoken often becomes a pattern, then a prison. But the same mouth that has bound you can also free you. When you realign with truth, when your word becomes clear, powerful, and unwavering, the world shifts. What must you do? Speak only what you desire, as if it is already. Do not speak of lack, for lack is not a reality, it is a suggestion. Speak abundance, and life must obey. Affirm with me now. I speak wealth, and wealth comes swiftly to me. My word aligns with divine supply, and doors open with ease. My word aligns with divine supply, and doors open with ease. Every word I speak carries power, and I choose words of increase. Every word I speak carries power, and I choose words of increase. There was once a man who lived in constant worry over money. His words were heavy. I'll never get out of this hole. Every morning, he rehearsed the language of defeat. Then one evening, weary and desperate, he made a small vow to speak only words of increase, no matter how things looked. For weeks he caught himself mid-sentence, turning "I can't" into "I am provided for." At first, nothing seemed different, but then, a letter arrived, with unexpected payment. A job offer appeared that he had not pursued. A friend extended an opportunity that opened new doors. The shift was not in the world first, it was in his word, and his word shifted the world. Now let us go deeper. Imagine your life as a river. If you place a boulder of resistance in it, the waters cannot flow. This is the second law, non-resistance. You cannot attract what you resist. You cannot invite what you secretly fight against. Money cannot dwell in the heart that resents it. Supply cannot come to the one who fears it. Non-resistance means peace with what is, while expecting what shall be. It is the open palm, not the clenched fist, that receives. Why do so many block this law? Because fear disguises itself as control. The mind tries to force, to push, to demand, to hold tightly, and in doing so, it resists the very blessing it longs for. Non-resistance is not passivity, it is alignment, it is trust. When you release the struggle, the river flows. Affirm with me, I let go, and supply flows freely to me. I let go, and supply flows freely to me. I do not resist, I receive. I do not resist, I receive. Money comes to me with ease, for I hold no fear against it. Money comes to me with ease, for I hold no fear against it. There was a woman who longed for financial relief. Every day she worried, she wrestled, she resisted, she pushed harder, but the harder she pushed, the further the supply seemed to run. Finally she surrendered. She released her anxious grip and began to speak. I do not resist, I resist. Soon, a path opened, not through her struggle, but through her peace. A friend introduced her to an opportunity that matched her gifts. A door opened quietly, naturally, with no strain. What shifted? Not the world first, but her state of being. She stopped fighting the current, and the current carried her. And so I speak directly to you now. You who have spoken words of fear, words of struggle, you who have clenched your hands against life, trying to force it into your shape. Listen, your word is your wand, and your surrender is your key. Together they open the vaults of heaven. Backstory does not matter. Past mistakes do not matter. What matters is this moment, and this moment you can speak differently. This moment you can release resistance. This moment you can let the river flow. Do you see the detail of your own struggle? The long nights rehearsing fear, the endless recounting of what is missing. That was the challenge, but here is the twist. The power was never outside of you. It was never in the economy, never in the job, never in the numbers. The power sat in your word, and in your willingness to let go. That is where the impact is born. For when you speak wealth, and cease resisting it, life rearranges itself with speed that will astonish. So now, take this truth into your heart. Your word is your wand. Wield it with wisdom. Non-resistance opens the floodgates of supply. Let the river flow. No more idle speech of lack. No more struggle against what is. Speak increase, bless supply, rest in truth. And watch, as doors open, rivers move, and the very fabric of your life glows with abundance. You are not out of blessings. You are only out of alignment, and alignment is one word away. You have waited long enough. You have prayed, hoped, and pleaded for your life to change. But somewhere in the quiet of your mind, doubt has whispered louder than faith. You have asked, why does abundance flow so easily to others, but not to me? Why does it feel like life has locked me out of the garden of supply? I will ask you one question. What have you been assuming? For life is not responding to your wishes. Life is not responding to your effort. Life is responding to the state you dwell in. If you assume lack, you live lack. If you assume struggle, you breathe struggle. But if you assume abundance, life must obey. There is a law woven into the fabric of existence, the law of assumption. To assume is to accept as true, without evidence. It is to hold something so firmly in your inner world that the outer world bends to match it. Yet here is the tragedy. Most assume the very thing they do not want. They assume rejection, delay, poverty, failure. They rehearse disappointment before life has even spoken. And so the pattern repeats, again and again. But the law is neutral. It does not punish. It does not reward. It reflects. To realign with this law, you must dare to assume abundance in the face of appearances. You must dwell in the inner wealth before the outer wealth shows itself. For assumption is the mold, and life is the clay. Affirm with me, I assume abundance, and life obeys with speed. I assume abundance, and life obeys with speed. I dwell in supply, and supply dwells in me. There was once a man who lived in constant anxiety over his bills. Each time he opened his mailbox, his heart sank. He rehearsed lack long before the envelope was torn. One day he heard the quiet nudge within, assume differently. He began to walk with a new thought. I am always provided for. He repeated it until it felt real. At first, nothing changed outside, but within, his fear dissolved. Soon after, opportunities arose. Doors opened. Income shifted. It was not magic, but alignment. The man did not wait for evidence. He assumed abundance, and life obeyed. Now hear this truth. What you bless multiplies. What you resent disappears. How many times have you envied the wealth of another? How often have you muttered in secret, they don't deserve that, why not me? That resentment is a curse against your own supply. For every time you resist, you repel. Every time you envy, you push blessings further away. But when you bless, you multiply. To bless is to release. To affirm, to give thanks for what you see. Knowing the same source that provided for another, provides for you. Resentment dries the stream. Blessing opens the flood. Why do people block this law? Because pride blinds them. They believe to bless another's wealth is to accept their own lack. But blessing is not surrender. It is alignment. It is proof that you believe in the source of supply, not in competition. To realign with this law, you must bless freely, bless joyfully, bless without hesitation. Every car that passes, every home you admire, every opportunity you see, bless it. For blessing is sowing, and what you sow returns in multiplied form. Affirm with me, I bless all wealth, and it multiplies for me. There was a woman who longed for her own business to flourish, yet every time she saw another succeed, she whispered resentment in her heart. Her own work remained stagnant. One day she remembered, what you bless multiplies, so she began to bless every success she saw. She rejoiced at another's promotion. She blessed the wealth in another's hands. She celebrated prosperity wherever she noticed it. Slowly, her bitterness faded, and with it, her block dissolved. Soon her own business began to attract clients, opportunities, and growth she had never seen before. Her blessing became her multiplication. Now let me speak to you plainly. Many of you have lived in a cycle of waiting, doubting, envying. You carry a backstory of disappointment, of doors that never opened, of chances that slipped away. You have spoken the detail of your struggles so many times it feels like truth. But here is the challenge. You cannot enter a new life while rehearsing the old one. You cannot claim abundance while assuming lack. You cannot multiply blessings while resenting the blessings of another. Here is the twist you must hear. The shift is not in the world outside you. It is in the world within you. It is in your assumptions. It is in your blessings. The impact comes the moment you change state. The moment you assume abundance, you stand taller. You think clearer. You attract faster. The moment you bless wealth, you open your own channel. Life bends to your inner posture. Life obeys your hidden stance. So I leave you with this awakening. Assume abundance, and life must obey. Bless wealth, and it multiplies. Do not envy. Do not resist. Do not assume struggle. That old way has already proven what it can produce. Instead, walk in the inner certainty that supply is yours. Speak blessing over all you see, and watch as life rearranges itself to meet you in that assumption. To multiply what you bless, to deliver the abundance that has always been waiting. You are not out of opportunities. You are not forgotten. You are not locked out of supply. You are only misaligned, and alignment is but one assumption, one blessing, one choice. You have waited long enough. You have stood in the silence, wondering if heaven has forgotten your name. You have looked at the empty spaces in your life and whispered, "Why is my blessing delayed? Why has the promise not yet come?" And with each passing day, doubt has crept in like a shadow. Let me ask you, who told you that divine order is late? Who told you that you are behind or that supply has overlooked you? Delay is an illusion. Lack is an illusion. Divine order has no delay. The river of life is not waiting to begin, it is already flowing, here and now. What if the very thing you call delay is only preparation, alignment, and timing working for your good? There is a divine law written into the fabric of existence, the law of divine order. It means that everything unfolds with perfect timing, with precision beyond your understanding. Life is not random. Supply is not missing. What you need already exists in the invisible, waiting for your alignment. Why then do so many feel lack? Because they measure with the wrong clock. They believe delay is real because their eyes do not yet see. They confuse appearances with truth. They look at an empty wallet and assume absence. But absence is never the truth. It is only the shadow before manifestation. To realign with this law, you must trust divine order more than appearances. You must rest in the certainty that nothing is late, nothing is lost, and nothing is denied. Divine order has no delay. Affirm with me now, I am always on time, and my supply is never late. I am always on time, and my supply is never late. There is no lack in my world, only unfolding abundance. There is no lack in my world, only unfolding abundance. I trust the rhythm of divine timing, and I rest in peace. I trust the rhythm of divine timing, and I rest in peace. There was once a woman who longed for financial freedom. She felt behind, left out, overlooked. Every day she compared herself to others, saying they are moving ahead while I fall behind. But one day, a quiet truth spoke within her. You are not late, divine order has no delay. She chose to believe it, she stopped rushing, she stopped fearing, she began to speak. My supply is on time, my blessing is here. Within weeks, a new opportunity appeared, one she could never have rushed or forced. Looking back, she saw that if it had come earlier, she would not have been ready to receive it. What seemed like delay was actually divine preparation. Let us now step into the deeper current. Many of you carry back stories soaked in struggle. You remember the details. The times you felt denied. The moments supply seemed to slip away. The bills stacked higher. The calls went unanswered. The job never came through. You have lived with the challenge of believing that delay is denial. But here is the twist. The delay was never real. The delay was never punishment. The delay was timing protecting you, shaping you, preparing you. You thought life was holding back from you, when in truth, life was aligning itself for you. This is the impact. Once you see lack as illusion, it loses its power. Once you see delay as divine order, you find peace, even in waiting. And from that peace, your manifestation quickens. For what blocks manifestation is not time, it is fear. What blocks supply is not delay, it is doubt. The moment you release the illusion of lack, supply rushes in. So I speak directly to you. Stop calling yourself late. Stop calling yourself behind. Stop rehearsing the language of lack. There is no lack. There is only life unfolding. There is no delay. There is only order. Your supply is not outside of you. It is here, waiting for your recognition. Your word is your wand. Your trust is your key. When you say, I am provided for, the doors begin to open. When you rest in divine timing, you find that everything you longed for has been moving toward you all along. Picture this. You are on a train, guided by perfect order. At each stop, the doors open when the train arrives. Would you bang on the doors before the station? Would you demand them to open in the middle of the tracks? No, you trust the schedule. You trust the movement. So it is with your life. The doors will open at the right station, and when they do, nothing can stop you from walking through. Remember this truth. Divine order has no delay, and lack is only an illusion. Do not let appearances rule you. Do not let fear whisper lies. You are not forgotten. You are not denied. You are not late. You are exactly where you are meant to be, and supply is unfolding in perfect time. Stand in this knowing. Speak with this authority. Live with this certainty, and you will see that what you once called delay was always the doorway to greater abundance. Listen closely, for this is not a gentle suggestion, it is a truth that cannot wait. You have lingered in doubt, whispered prayers into empty rooms, and measured your life against the illusions of delay. You have tolerated fear, scarcity, and the small voice that insists, not yet. But the veil has lifted. The supply you seek is not distant, not conditional, not dependent on luck or timing. It is already here. It has been here all along, waiting for you to recognize it, claim it, and align yourself with its flow. Ask yourself now, how long will you allow fear to direct your life? How long will you wait for what is already yours? The moment of awakening is not tomorrow, it is now. Your word, your thought, your intention, these are the instruments that shape reality. Speak with courage, act with faith, release resistance, assume abundance, bless what you see. Trust divine order. Do this, and watch the world bend with exact precision to mirror your inner certainty. Do not drift back into hesitation. Do not whisper doubt one more time. Step forward fully, knowing that the universe conspires with you when your alignment is true. This is your wake-up call. Scarcity has no power over you. Delay is a lie. Lack is an illusion. If you are ready to claim the life that has been waiting for you, comment boldly below, I step into abundance now. Do not linger. Subscribe and anchor yourself in this sacred rhythm, because the teachings you have received today are the keys, and it is your turn to unlock the door.